Hey everybody, Steve here in Palm Springs. We just returned from grocery shopping this morning at Walmart, and I just had to share with you some of these really low prices. Now, I'm not saying prices aren't going up sky high at all the grocery stores, they are. But at our Walmart here in Palm Springs, California, there are still some really good deals. And sometimes I'm surprised just how good the deals are. For example, this banana here cost me 7 cents. When was the last time you paid 7 cents for a banana? Some of you may remember that about a month ago or so, I shared a short video on this channel of the prices of bananas then, which had gone down from, I think they were 55 cents a pound to 35 cents a pound, and I was shocked. I mean, the price seemed so low to me, I couldn't believe how low the price was. And here we are a month or so later, and the price of bananas at our Walmart is now 20 cents a pound. At that price, the bananas I bought came out to 7 cents each. And these are really good bananas. So I was really happy about that. And then I noticed that the price of canned corn was also back to 50 cents a can, which is where it should be. It should never be more than 50 cents a can, in my opinion anyway. For about the last year or so, they've been about 84 cents a can, which I thought was way, way too expensive. So it was nice to see that canned vegetables at Walmart were back to a halfway decent price. I know a lot of you are going to say, I shouldn't be eating canned corn. Nobody should eat canned corn. It's horrible. I know. I know a lot of you are really into health food, and I know you're trying to be nice and trying to warn everybody about the food that we shouldn't be eating. But, to be honest, if we stopped eating all of the food that is reported to be bad online somewhere, there wouldn't be anything left to eat at all. So we have to eat something. For all of you who do still eat canned corn, at least the price has gone down to 50 cents a can here in California, here in Palm Springs. Now, a couple of days ago, I shared another video about the fact that I haven't had any ice cream in a year because of my clogged arteries last year. And some of you said, well, why don't you just try the non-fat ice cream? And so I looked for non-fat ice cream this morning. I couldn't find any, and someone was stocking the ice cream shelves, was blocking half of the aisle, so I could only see about half of the ice cream. Next week I'll check. In fact, I'll probably check online before I go next week, just to see if they still have. I remember when I was a kid, we did have, it was called ice milk. And I think it was just non-fat vanilla ice cream, and I thought it was fine. And if I could get that again, I would probably try that, as long as there's no fat in it. I think there might be some of the premium brands might have non-fat, but I'm not going to spend $10 for a pint of ice cream. That's just way too much. So a lot of the premium ice creams and the pints where you can get things like that, they're just so outrageously overpriced that it's ridiculous. But, if I could find the non-fat ice milk again or something like that, I would try that. I think it would probably be okay. And vanilla is not a flavor that I love that much that I would, binge on it. I would be able to control myself. So I hope I can still find that. If not at Walmart, maybe somewhere else. And I'll check around. But I did find something I used to buy there. It's the, let me show you. It's the Fudgesicle Fudge Pops, and these are sugar-free, only 40 calories, and I looked, I was really surprised when I discovered, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it's made with non-fat milk. So there's no fat, there's no fat or sugar, and that's what I was looking for, just a little snack, just something, a couple of these are all I need to satisfy my sweet tooth. I don't need a ton of ice cream anymore. So I got a package of these. Now, these have gone up a lot. They were a little over $6 for this package of 18. And I seem to remember the last time I bought these that they were 20 to a package. So probably smaller. I mean, I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was a smaller package than what I used to get. But 18 for $6, what was it, $6.17 or something? Those came to 34 cents per ice cream pop. Even if I had 2 of those, it's 68 cents. That's not a bad deal. I mean, it's still too expensive really for what it is, but it's still a lot cheaper than most things at the grocery stores these days, especially when it comes to ice cream. Ice cream is very expensive. So I'll try those, and if I can control myself and not end up eating a whole package all at once, I won't. I never did before, but as long as I don't go overboard, I think that should be fine to have as a snack. Now, last week I noticed in the coffee aisle, I don't drink coffee anymore, or rarely. I'll have decaf every now and then, but because of my kidney stones, years ago I had to stop drinking coffee. I can still have decaf once in a while, but I'm not really up on the prices of coffee, but a lot of you have left comments saying just how expensive it is. So I went down the coffee aisle and I noticed that it did seem pretty expensive. And I think one of the highest prices that I saw for coffee was the Keurig coffee and also the McDonald's McCafe coffee. I think they were both like $34.97, so basically $35. But then I looked at how many, and that was $35 for 60 of those little cups. And so divide 35 by 60, and the price for a cup of coffee came to about 58 cents. So that's actually not really too bad. It doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I grew up when coffee was 10 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents a cup, but that was 50, 60 years ago. So here we are in 2025, 58 cents for a cup of coffee at home. Doesn't seem outrageous. I know the little packages that I buy of the decaf Folgers, I think those were maybe 20 cents a cup, so that's even better. So you can still get some coffee at a fairly reasonable price at the store compared to out at a coffee shop or a Starbucks. I also shared a video a week or so ago sharing that our avocados at Walmart, our Walmart, were 65 cents each, and these are fairly large, not really large, but not small. They were kind of medium to large. They were 65 cents each. This week they were 67 cents, so still really, really cheap. So I just wanted to share with all of you, because I know a lot of people right now are really struggling with their budget, and prices have gone sky high at grocery stores for a lot of things, and probably most items, but at least in our store, at least in our Walmart, there's still quite a few bargains. So if you stay away from all the processed foods and the meat and the more expensive items, you can still get a lot of really good healthy food. A lot of the produce is still very reasonable, and you can still get that for a pretty good price. I buy broccoli. Now the broccoli, I buy a big bag of broccoli, and it's gone up in price a lot. It's about $4 for a bag when I buy it each week, but I steam it and then I have it for the week. This is usually filled up completely after I steam all the broccoli. It's like really huge, and the last couple of weeks I've had so much that I've actually had 1.5 of these. And for about $4, and I have this with other veggies, and that's my lunch. And I haven't actually added up how much each item costs, but I bet I don't spend more than about $1 to $1.50 for lunch with just a huge plate of vegetables, which to me is very filling, very healthy, and I really like it. I also include beans, so beans and broccoli and maybe corn or squash or something else, some other vegetable. And for about $1, maybe $1.50, I have a really filling and healthy lunch or dinner. Rice is still cheap, beans are still relatively cheap, pasta is very cheap still. There's still a lot of items in the grocery store that you can get for a pretty reasonable price. Anyway, just wanted to share what we're spending at our Walmart, which is still fairly reasonable, at least for the things that we buy. We could spend a fortune each week if we bought a lot of meat and a lot of the other items I just mentioned. But the things we do eat are pretty affordable and pretty healthy, and at least at the moment, not outrageously expensive. So I'm curious, are you having the same experience where you live? So share with us if you're also finding some really good prices. Overall, prices are still not coming down, that's for sure. But I'm just going to take the win whenever we can get it. So if you can still get a banana for 7 cents, I would definitely stock up on these. Anyway, just thought I'd share a little good news with you. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.